My 26F boyfriend, 27M, proposed, but I don't know how to say no without hurting his feelings. Me, 26F, and my boyfriend, 27M, have been together for almost 6 years. And he recently proposed. I wasn't prepared for this and I didn't know how to react. So I said yes, as it was the expected thing for me to do. And he's super happy and excited. I love him a lot and I know he loves me too. I want to marry him someday. Maybe in a few years. But not now or anytime soon. Nothing wrong with him. I'm just going through a lot in the moment and I don't feel like this is the right time for me. We always talk about absolutely everything. But this time I'm afraid of hurting his feelings. I'm scared that if I say no, or if I explain that I don't have any plans of marrying him in a near future, this could potentially change our relationship. How to say no to a marriage proposal when there's nothing wrong with the relationship. I'm sorry to be blunt, but you don't get to not hurt his feelings here. That's just not an option. If you turn him down, it will hurt his feelings. It will change your relationship. It may lead to a breakup, but will absolutely lead to a conversation about what your timeline does look like. And you need to be ready to answer that with a concrete timeline. If you intend to continue dating him, or even having a long engagement, unfortunately, there's no way to have this conversation and go back to how things were before the proposal happened. There's just not. You need to accept that, and do it anyway. Sometimes, to do what's right for yourself, you have to be the bad guy in someone else's story. Is a lengthy engagement out of the question? This will be the end of your relationship. If after 6 years you don't have a plan for the future, you are wasting this guy's time. Look, the reality is that after 6 years he wants to move forward in the relationship. Marry and live together. You don't and are not sure when you will be ready. This isn't something you can compromise on. He's waited 6 years already and deserves to know the truth. You don't want to be tied down. No one is at fault, but you shouldn't have said yes. The two of you may be close in age, but you're at different stages in life. It's time to sit him down and explain how you feel. You may not stay together. You're happy with long distance and he's really not. It may be time for you both to just grow in different directions. You've dated 6 years and you haven't lived together because you are in different countries. You are stringing him along for the ride. You have to make a decision. Just saying to stay long distance until you feel like getting married is not an option. You are being selfish. If you don't want to get married within a year, then just break up. In any other circumstance you could do a long engagement and live together. But here you clearly cannot due to the fact that you are in different countries. 6 years is a lot of relationship time. Ask yourself what it is that you feel you are not actually ready for. Do you have a deadline age for when you want to get married? And then ask yourself, do you actually want to be with this person? You can always discuss having a long engagement and achieving whatever goals and milestones you wanted to achieve before you get married. I mean, you can let him know gently that you need to wait. You also gotta realize that the no to him might be seen as not on the same page and be a deal breaker. At the end you gotta do what's best for you. If you don't want to marry him after 6 years, what will make you change your mind? I find that people waiting for the right time never find it and always make excuses for why it's still not the right time. My sister got strung along for 11 years by her ex. We're not done with school. We don't have good jobs. We need to buy a house. Guess what? They did all of that and he still didn't want to marry her. I also find it hard to believe that after 6 years a proposal just came out of the blue. How have you never talked about marriage in 6 years? Are you just in denial? It sounds like you don't want to marry him but you still want to be with him. Maybe he'll wait, or maybe he'll feel like you're trying to have your cake and eat it too. 6 years and you're waffling. You need to return the ring and let him go. If you don't know after 6 years that you want to be married, then you don't deserve this guy. He deserves someone that is all in. I tell every woman who comes here asking why their boyfriend won't marry them after 6 years the same thing. If at 6 years someone isn't sure, that means they really are sure that they don't want to marry you. But they're stringing you along, lying to you. Or maybe to themselves. I would tell your boyfriend to leave you if you decline to be engaged after 6 years. Because you're never going to want to marry him. And he clearly feels marriage is important. If you are a halfway decent person, go the full distance and break up with him so he has time to find someone who does want to marry him. You're not it. Would it bother you staying engaged? As in, do you need to say no? If not, you could explain to him that you want a future with him and see yourself being married to him. But because you are going through a lot right now and are not prepared to have a wedding in the near future, ask if would he be okay with a long-term engagement, and give him a time frame of what you mean by long-term so you both are on the same page. Instead of rejecting his proposal, you are just communicating that you are not emotionally ready for a wedding right now. 6 years is a long time to still not be ready. Just tell him no, and end the relationship so both of you can continue on with your lives. Expect that the relationship is over then. It's been 6 years. If you don't want to marry him now, you don't want to marry him. I don't know why you're stringing him along. I don't understand people who date this long but don't want to get married when asked. Most people have the conversation before engagement. You need to let him go. Well, this is the beginning of the end of this relationship. Just why? Why give someone hope to ultimately for them to find out that they didn't want to, and they only reason they said yes was because they can't handle saying no? I rather be told no 1,000 times than be giving false hope. If he was your choice, after 6 years of knowing each other, you would want to be with him, just as he wants to be with you. But you really don't. Not really. How do we know this? Because you are saying, but I don't feel not the right time for me, and wow, that damning and horrible. Nothing wrong with him. Description: you just said he is not the one for you. He is like a comfortable old shoe. Not exciting. No passion. Nothing wrong, but not the right one to marry. I want you to think about this carefully. You say you want to marry him. Then add a but to your sentence. I think you have totally misunderstood marriage. Marriage is a partnership. It is a partnership where when you are going through a lot, your partner should be the one you turn to. The partner who is your rock. Who lifts you up when you need it. Just as you have their back and are their strength when life's storms hit. So I ask you again. Think and answer honestly. Do you want to marry him? Yes? So how many years do you want to wait? 2? 10? When the time feels right? In 50 years? You need to be honest. Tell him you said yes because he expected it. But it's a no from you. You don't want to marry him after 6 years. You aren't sure when you would marry him. If he says he will wait forever, he's an idiot and deserves you messing him around until you meet the guy you really end up marrying. If he says he wants to break up, you break up and both move on. No. You have been together 6 years. Live in different countries. Said yes to a proposal and he wants to move closer as soon as possible, but you really want to say no and put off the wedding for years? Do you really want to marry this guy, or is he a safe option for you? If I was him and you told me you changed your mind about the proposal, I would just end things with you. Or maybe that is what you're hoping happens. Nowhere in you posts do I get the feeling that you really think this guy is the one for you.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.